They said we can't use our track mutes anymore. Oh no, what are we going to do? Well, what you can do is still stay on 2.15 and use your track mutes. But editing events isn't that bad. We'll get to it. You know, I'll show you how to really use this MPC. But right now, what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to use the step sequencer and put a little 1-2 together and see what we get. What's going on, guys? It's your brother O.T.G. O.T.G's for Overtime Grind. Hardly seen, but I'm always around. And today I'm on the MPC One. MPC One Retro, you know. We got the MPC plugins. You already know we're standalone. And today I'm just going to rock out and see what I come up with. You know what I mean? One of my favorite things to do with the MPC is to actually make beats. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like sometimes you get so caught up in trying to use everything that the MPC can do that you forget the number one thing that it can do, which is just make music. You know what I mean? Sure, I could go through and do lots of change ups and all of this other stuff, man, but you know, some days we just cooking. And I make so many beats. I just follow the vibes, you know what I mean? We follow the vibes, we see what we come up with. And, you know, on the snare, we're going to go through. Never forget that you have your performance plugins or your performance effects, you know what I mean? Or drum effects, drum effects. I think a lot of people haven't gone in depth with program edit. I guess it's going to be called track edit soon. Whatever it's called, whatever to edit, you need to go in there and edit, because that's how you can turn something super plain. I've never used this drum kit ever in my life. You know, we could take something super plain and kind of turn it into what we want to, especially with your kick. One of the dope secrets about the step sequencer is if you just highlight pad select, then you could go through and use the screen just to put the steps on and fly through the pads pretty quickly. I like the step sequencer. A lot of people have a lot of negative things to say, but you know, over here we consider it a blessing to be able to have access to do these things, and a blessing to be able to create music, and a blessing to be able to comprehend and understand and push forward and always grow. So I try not to see all of the complaints and always try to look at the brighter side of things. And one of the brighter side of things that I noticed with the step sequencer is some of the ways we can work the velocity, you know, different ways that you can get things done. You know, the key word is submit. If you submit to however the workflow is in order to get the job done that you're trying to get done, then guess what's going to happen? You're going to get the job done. And once you get that job done, you know, you're going to start getting faster, more efficient, and be ready to push the boundaries some, you know what I mean? You don't pump the snare, pump this kick up. You know what I mean? Add some soft clipper. You know, add some of the bass tight E on it. Do some housekeeping, name our tracks. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment. Make sure you check out the masterclass. Everything's getting updated, guys. Everything's getting updated. I got music over there on the Gumroad. You know, I've been building out, I told you. But, you know, let's stay focused. All that stuff is down there. Check it out. That's how you can support the channel. You know, this MPC has stems on it, but not every day do I need to stem something, you know what I'm saying? Right now we just working at a 2-bar loop. At some point I'll turn it into a 4. I'm okay with these small adjustments and working in these small increments. Doesn't really bother me. Especially when we're building it from scratch, no loops, you know what I mean? Another slept on feature is the pad perform. I use it all the time. I use it so much I rarely use my keyboard. I just keep my nano key. And right now, this is just straight MPC, no nano key, no nothing. I want you guys to realize that everything they give us is just a tool. And you have to make the choice of how you're going to use the tools and how you're going to approach the tools. You get what I'm saying? I can't decide for you because I'm going to use the tools how I use them. You can watch all of these different videos and you can learn different ways to use the tools, different ways people utilize tools, and that can inspire you to find your own ways, maybe emulate some of those things. But you got to put your own work in, man. Denzel Washington, Training Day. What the guy tell him when he tried to hand him the gun? He said, you gotta put your own work in around here, homie. That's how it is with the MPC, bro. You can get every sneak, trick, tip, every book, everything, and you're still gonna have to do the work and figure out how you're gonna do it yourself. And, at some point you gotta not get defeated, so you can't just quit and go back to the computer. The computer is another tool, but you bought a standalone device to be standalone, so you're gonna have to challenge yourself to figure it out, even if it's hard. Life is hard. Being a parent is hard. Paying bills is hard. There's a lot of hard things to do in this life every day. Mastering a machine that you bought willingly, it could be difficult, but at the same time, the more you know. One of the things you want to do is be patient. You could go through, I know people always say, oh, the pad perform sounds so generic. Everything sounds so generic. It's generic. But then you go get generic ass loops and chop them up and use those. So the real thing really is that you don't have patience enough to find a generic melody that you can make yourself and go from there. Because most of the stuff that people are using in songs nowadays is generic anyway. So really it's just about you having some patience and sound design and self-confidence in yourself that you can make these generic ass loops and utilize it. And I don't know if you have the MPC plugins, but if you invest in your MPC, I think it's a smart thing to do. I think it's a smart thing to do to invest in your MPC, and make that thing go from skinny to large. You know what I mean? Because whatever day they stop updating it, we're going to be stuck where it's at for life. And just like guys who've been on the MPC 2500 to 3000 to 2000 to 60 to 1000 and they never updated, you could be one of those guys too. These MPCs have all those similar layers too. These MPCs have all of the depth too. These MPCs have all of the capability too. A lot of the times what you hear people complaining about is that they have to find it, and because they have to find it and something else that's right in front of their face and it's easy to see that thing is better because it's easy to see, or these sounds are better because the presets are already preset for you, or this is better because you could click one button and then it's going to do this. A lot of that is laziness. And at the end of the day, I'm not here to judge people's beats, because you never know what's going to spark creativity in these artists. And you never know what artist is going to want the music. So, telling people their beats are whack or all this other stuff, that's for weak-minded individuals, you know what I'm saying? Like, those for guys still trying to find self-esteem and feeling like they're better than somebody. At the end of the day, you know what I mean? We do this to create music, and the music that you have, it's up to you who you put it in front of, and some people gonna like it, some aren't. But as the producer, because you are a producer, say it again, bro, you are a producer, and broettes, ladies, you are a producer. I know we like to call ourselves beat makers. Well, I call myself a producer, composer, songwriter, you know what I mean? Because my goal is to make money and provide for my family and do what I love every day, so I take it serious. And I understand that if I'm learning to paint, even if I'm an apprentice painter, I'm still a painter. So even if you're an apprentice producer, you're still a producer. You know, you are producing something. So it's your job as the producer of whatever you're creating to also believe in whatever you're creating and what your sound is. And sometimes sounds not going to work together, and sometimes they are going to work together, and sometimes you're going to chase a vibe and you look up tomorrow and be like, what was this? And the other days you'll chase a vibe and come up with something immaculate and play it for people, and that's not even what they like. They like the song that you didn't like. So you have to take it serious and call yourself a producer and have some self-esteem and be proud in what you produce. Be proud and happy in the choice that you made and your tools of choice. I don't ever really understand. I mean, I understand that we live in a world full of YouTube critics and things of that nature, so I understand part of the job is to tell people all of the negative things, the bugs, and all of these problems. But, you know, on the other hand, they come from making music on less capable equipment. And we jump through lots and lots and lots of hoops just to get it done. And so on these machines, we're not jumping none of those hoops. We just gotta dig further, and, you know, I appreciate it. The vibe's coming together right now, you know what I mean? Sometimes when you mess around with the step sequencer, you could get some kicks and things that you wouldn't normally get. But listen, I'm not going to talk to you through the whole video. You know, I want you to be able to vibe. Make sure you stay till the end. Make sure you stay to the end. The beat is dope. I like it a lot. You know, I'll put it up somewhere and you can then listen to the final version. Make sure you go listen to the beat tape. All kinds of different beats I made as standalone. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment. You know, and check out some of the moves. Use your ears. Listen to some of the moves. Listen to some of the things that I do. Look at where I place things on the screen and wonder why, and go emulate those things. You know, look at the screens that I'm on and go spend some time in those screens. You know, try to do some of the things for yourself and see where it leads you. Might lead you down a path of creativity you haven't gotten yet. You know, instead of worrying about what it can't do or what you can't find, worry about what you can find and learn some new things. Yep. So make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like this video. Help more people see it. 365 O.T.G on all social media. Make sure you check out the Gumroad. Over 5-6 hours of video, over 40 gigs, 30 gigs of sounds and expansions from machine and different places I made for myself, and I shared with you guys. Music, all kinds of tutorials and different things, videos of just beat making from start to finish and me talking to you through the concepts. There's a lot of different master classes out there, but, you know, mine, I feel like, is the value of just walking you through and showing you the process of constantly creating until you get the hang of it. You know what I mean? We out.